Hey, welcome back to my channel. This is Dave. Today we're going to talk about something that plagues, and I mean plagues, a lot of cities and towns and blues jams, and in general, it is just insanity. And, can you hear it? So, what is the Dunning-Kruger effect, you ask yourself? Or are you asking me? Well, I'll tell you. Here's what Wiki has to say. There are so many musicians that I know that are victims of people who have the Dunning-Kruger effect. I don't mean to throw people under the bus, but here comes the bus, and I'm a throwing. A friend of mine asked me to do a session for him. After the session, he says to me, he wanted the guitar, so he started playing it. And then he says to me, I'm a cross between Beck and Hendrix. And I said, you must mean Tom Beck and Fred Hendrix, because there's no way that you're talking about Jimi Hendrix and Jeff Beck, because you're terrible. And the look of shock on his face when I told him that he was terrible, he didn't believe me. And I'm like, he's like, oh, you're such a kidder. I'm like, I'm not kidding. You're horrible. He's a beginner guitar player that's an older guy that thinks he's unbelievable. And I'm just like, you do nothing to try to better yourself as a player, and you can't bend in tune. You don't play in time. And I was being hard on him because I know that he and another guy that he hangs with both have the Dunning-Kruger effect. This other guy that he hangs with claims that he's the greatest unknown guitar player in the world. I tell him, I don't think you're the greatest guitar player unknown on your street. Forget about the world. I showed him a video once of Anton O'Parin. So if you get the chance, go on YouTube, look up Anton O'Parin. At 13 years old, he's playing Scarified by Paul Gilbert. He's playing AC/DC, everything with the seasoning and the playing of a kid, and Chet Atkins stuff, with the playing of someone that's been playing for 20, 30 years. He's unbelievable. He's 19 now. The kid is one of the most unbelievable guitar players ever. He was at an AM show once, and Richie Kotzen says to me, have you ever seen that kid play? And I said, he's unbelievable. He goes, what the heck? I wanted to throw the guitar up. He was 13, a little kid playing guitar, shredding. This guy that I know says, I see guitar players like that at Guitar Center all the time. If you think you're the best unknown guitar player in the world, if you think some smoking guitar player is equivalent to those guitar players that go into Guitar Center every day, I have never seen such a large group of Dunning-Kruger in my life than the musicians on the East Coast. I was at a blues jam once, and I was using I think it's called a super overdrive. It was the guy's pedal, whoever, it was a Boss pedal. I dialed it in so it kind of had like a Dumble-esque sound. This blues guitar player comes up to me, he says, oh, we're using distortion pedals? Well, if I knew that. I'm like, if you knew that, what? I've seen you play. You're not going to play any different. The fact that he would come over and say that to me, I was in complete shock. In fact, the only thing I could think of was, there's a lot of great great guitar players. You know, if you're in the Boston area, there's some fantastic guitar players. But you know, when you go to like cities like New York, Nashville, or Los Angeles, you're gonna find players that are just mind-boggling great, and in such large numbers that you really get a humbling of yourself, and you really start to see, you know, where you fit in. And when I was there, and to this day, I'm only trying to work. That's all I want to do is work. I'm not trying to be the best. I don't claim to be the best. I don't want to be the best. I just want to be a working musician that can make a living playing music. I want to write songs. I want to play on records. I want to play on in films. Whatever it is, I just want to work. I'm gigging. I want to be a working musician. That's my goal. That's what I wanted to do. There are guys who, when I see them play, I'm instantly trying to learn what they're doing so I could somehow play a fraction of what they're playing. I see guys like Brent Mason and Steve Wariner, and I'm like trying to learn all that country chicken picking stuff. And I see, you know, it's a constant learning experience, the guitar, and it's something we never master. And that's why we're all here watching videos. We love to be entertained about guitar. We're fascinated with it. It's a great topic. Music's a great topic. And then there are the guys, and I'm sure everybody that's watching this video knows a guy who thinks they're either the best player around, or that like they have no judgment of other players. They have no idea. And it's hilarious. When I showed a bunch of my friends the Dunning-Kruger effect and the definition, they just started laughing because we all know the same guys. And everybody knows a guy like that. You know, there's also the opposite in that too, where there are guys who are so fantastic at what they do, and they also don't have a sense of it. They don't know that they're so much better than everybody else. You know, and then like, you know, and of course then the common one is there are these guys that think they're better than everybody else, and they're so like inept at the instrument or inept at doing whatever they're doing, whatever instrument it is. But I thought it would be a funny topic to talk about. Not too many people know the name or know what it is. I happened to stumble upon it one night, and I just thought it was hysterical because I knew these guys that have the Dunning-Kruger effect. Anyways, we're hopefully all here because we all watch videos, watch everyone else's stuff, and we're all here to learn something. I come on YouTube to learn. It's a great thing. I love watching people show their bands. I like watching people talk about guitars. So, anyways, if you have a Dunning-Kruger story, please post it on my comments. I love to read them. It's a huge laugh to me when I read about these knuckleheads that are out there that think they're God's gift to something that they're beginners at. And otherwise, I hope you have a great day. It's beautiful out. I'm going to go, I teach the drum student that I mentor. We're going to go over Ooh Child, which was Bernard Purdie. Such a great groove. I'm a huge Bernard Purdie fan. In fact, I'm more of a fan of drummers than I am of guitar players. I could sit there and talk about drums all day. That being said, I am out of here. Very good.